Randy Orton turns on Cody Rhodes, aligns with Rollins, Gunther targets John Cena, Roman Reigns blasts Jimmy. Number 1, Austin Theory has criticized his old partner. Austin Theory has been absent from Raw for several months, but not much has been said about why he disappeared. Grayson Waller has jumped into a team with the New Day. At last year's Crown Jewel Premium Live event, the Aussies worked under the influence of Grayson Waller. Since he doesn't seem ready for a spotlight match on the card, he will probably host another round of his chat show. Since connecting with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, Waller has ripped apart his former tag partner plenty. To break the talk show, Theory could return to WWE. Number 2, Bianca Belair is eyeing the gold. Since WrestleMania 41, Bianca Belair has been away from SmackDown. She heard a finger pop in her triple threat fight with Sky and Rhea Ripley. On last week's SmackDown, after Tiffany Stratton retained her title against Jade Cargill and Nia Jax, a new face must step forward to challenge the center of the universe. The ESD appeared several times during injury recovery, such as when WWE hit her hometown Nashville. She even served as special guest referee in an Evolution match between Cargill and Naomi. Belair and Stratton have crossed paths once before Stratton claimed the belt. She is really dangerous to take it away. A strong comeback against Tiffy in Perth may be on the horizon. Third place, Liv Morgan will snatch the crown jewel. Although Liv Morgan has been off Raw since late July, Judgment Day has been running strong as an important part of the show. They probably won't break it while Damian Priest and Ripley are mixed in. Still, every member won gold in the summer. Dominic Mysterio is hanging on to the Intercontinental Championship, while Finn Balor and JD McDonagh hold the World Tag Team Championship. Morgan won the Women's Crown Jewel Championship for the first time. Cody Rhodes defended his Men's Crown Jewel Championship spot. The ex-Money in the Bank winner must hand over the title or the ring, so he has to show up in Perth. If she is able to go, she could jump on any champion to start her return feud. Fourth place, Gunther has targeted a WWE icon. In his World Heavyweight title match with CM Punk, Gunther broke his nose. Since then he has been off TV, but he is expected to return soon by late 2025. For the Royal Rumble, the Ring General stands as the top pick. Before 17-time champion John Cena retires, Gunther is also a strong bet to face Cena. Calling out Cena is really an opportunity. The former champion may even enter the Men's Crown Jewel Championship afterparty. After losing his gold at SummerSlam, aiming at both title holders seems the right path for the Ring General. Shane McMahon's son has landed an ESPN internship. Shane McMahon's son, Declan, finished a summer gig at ESPN just as WWE's big events like WrestleMania and Royal Rumble in 2026 are moving from Peacock to ESPN's new streaming setup. Declan, grandson of Vince and Linda McMahon, worked behind the scenes on ESPN's 40 Under 40 show. Linda McMahon spread the news during a chat with Sage Steele. My oldest grandson Declan had an internship at ESPN. Oh, he did it this summer on the 40 Under 40 show. I think that's what it's called, but oh, that's close enough. I'm probably not saying it exactly right, Linda added, noting how such opportunities can open big doors. An internship often leads to more, especially if you know, like Declan, he will be a senior in college. After this, it could lead to a career as you start making connections and things like that. That's why internships are so great. They really are. Before entering the transfer portal in 2024, Declan played as a running back for Indiana University. He has shown a true interest in sports media, but wrestling hasn't left his mind. In 2023, he mentioned attending a friend's wrestling practice, hinting that the family business could still attract him. With WWE signing this massive ESPN deal to broadcast big events on streaming and TV spots, Declan's timing is undoubtedly like fate. From football field to production desk and maybe someday ringside, his path is wide. Is Declan McMahon preparing to land a spot in the ESPN WWE matchup, or just dipping his toes before diving into the family ring game? Unfortunate news for WWE after Raw. After their great start on ESPN with WrestlePalooza, WWE is moving toward Crown Jewel, but last week's Raw only got 2.3 million viewers with 4.5 million worldwide hours on Netflix, according to their weekly update. The show, which had topped Netflix charts several times since January, dropped to number 8, their worst position. September had a rough time overall, with the September 15 episode drawing just 2.6 million views and 5.3 million hours watched. Compared to the previous lowest of 2.4 million views on September 1, the situation looks shaky. WWE has struggled with ratings for weeks, but AJ Lee's return boosted SmackDown to record highs and gave momentum to WrestlePalooza. Since that victory, Lee hasn't appeared again. Her husband CM Punk will return to Raw next week, but his next steps are still unclear. He signed a contract for his return, though the number of dates is unknown. The ex-Divas champion has many paths with WWE's women, and even caused quite a stir over Raw this week. Another recently popular star is John Cena, and Triple H recently announced his last match on December 13. Crown Jewel is bringing him into a fan-favorite clash against AJ Styles, but whether it will pull WWE out of this slump is unpredictable. The biggest behind-the-scenes reason why WWE isn't doing so well in 2025. Insiders and fans agree that WWE's 2025 game has still not reached its peak. The former creative boss gave strong opinions on why the situation is bad. On the latest Sportskeeda Wrestling with Russo, host Dr. Chris Featherstone spoke with insiders about AJ Lee and the overall creative vision. Talking about the women's division, insiders said that WWE's booking has burned out almost every female star's spark. They noted that WWE is juggling too many of its shows, holding on to the core reason the product feels weak. It's funny, bro, because the WWE landscape we're talking about is scattered everywhere. It all depends on how many shows they are writing each week. It all comes back to that. That's why everything feels like a big mess. At the last minute, things don't make sense. That's how they are writing shows. The insiders argued that WWE's current approach cannot be sustained long-term. The sports entertainment giant is doing more and more, lowering the quality of TV. They said there is no longer time to build a strong program. Insiders pointed out Fox canceling the 5-year SmackDown deal, saying TKO now plays with the big dogs and faces tougher risks. That's the thing, they'll get away with it for a while. But now they're in bed with the heavy hitters. Like I said, a lot of people have piled on it and nobody wants to talk about it. We saw what happened with Fox. These companies are bigger than Fox. By heavy hitters here, I mean ESPN and Netflix. After their SmackDown contract ended, Fox seemed ready to walk away. WWE had been pushing for a huge raise since 2019 with the $200 million annual deal, which at that time broke the record for wrestling broadcasts. It didn't happen. In 2025, Netflix is paying 150% more for Raw, and the deal is longer too. We will have to wait to see how the ESPN and Netflix deals change things. Andrade has officially signed a new deal with AEW. Andrade has returned to the All Elite world forever. After his shocking jump on the October 1st episode of AEW Dynamite, the former WWE star has now signed a full-time contract with All Elite Wrestling. Fightful Select reported that after WWE released him earlier this summer, Andrade had no hold-back clause, allowing him to immediately step back into the ring. His return had him attack Kenny Omega and align with the Don Callis family, shaking the entire AEW scene. The post-match chaos began after Kenny Omega and Burrito, the Young Bucks, and Josh Alexander defeated their opponents. As Omega was drenched in cheers, the Bucks jumped in before Jack Perry and Luchasaurus evened the odds. But tension exploded between Perry and Omega, creating an intense showdown until the lights went out. When they came back on, Andrade stood in the middle and delivered a brutal attack on Omega. Now that his contract is signed, Andrade is established on a big platform and at the center of one of AEW's most talked-about stories. His last WWE spot was at SummerSlam, where he teamed with Rey Fenix in a six-pack TLC for the Tag Team Championships. Since then, he was never seen again and WWE never said a word about his departure. Andrade's new start in AEW not only strengthens the Don Callis family but also gives him a blank page to build on his own terms, free from limitations, silent partner changes, and wasted time. SmackDown's viewership drops despite Jacob Fadu's return. The September 26, 2025 episode of WWE Friday Night SmackDown was packed with real highlights. Jacob Fatu returned to TV and kicked off a new beef, but even after that, the numbers took a hit. According to Programming Insider, SmackDown drew 1.238 million viewers, much lower compared to 1.342 million viewers on September 19, 2025. In the key P1849 ratings, it scored 0.35, a step down from last week's 0.37. This week's Friday Night SmackDown featured many notable spots, like Jacob Fadu's return where he took out Drew McIntyre to start a new feud with him. Jade Cargill also came face-to-face with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax in a WWE Women's title match. The night was filled with all kinds of big moments. As WWE moves toward Crown Jewel, we will bring new viewership numbers and important updates for Friday Night SmackDown. What do you think about the latest SmackDown episode dropping viewership so low? Rey Mysterio return update. A new report recently clarified when WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio might return to the ring. The 50-year-old star has been out since mid-April. PW Insider Elite's Mike Johnson reported that the master of the 619 will arrive at the Performance Center this week. Word is he is working hard to get medically cleared for his comeback. After suffering a leg injury on the last SmackDown before WrestleMania 41, Rey Mysterio had to sit out. He was lined up to face El Grand Americano at the Showcase of the Immortals. Rey Fenix replaced him, but the Masked Warrior ultimately lost to the big man. Even without wrestling, Mysterio appeared at several AAA events, including 2 Worlds Collide. At the September 12 Premium Live event, after Dom El Hijo del Vikingo won the title, Rey had to strap the AAA Mega Championship around his son Dominic Mysterio's waist. On the Club 520 podcast, Rey Mysterio praised the hard work of raising his on-screen enemy and real-life son Dominic Mysterio. The legendary luchador said it felt amazing to watch his son's rise over the last 4 years. He added that Dirty Dom has a lot of confidence and wished that at his age he had the same fire and intelligence. Seeing his growth over the past 4 years, how he has developed into this character, embraced it, and now made it completely his own, it's amazing, bro. His confidence, if I had some of that at his age and if I knew then what he knows now. I had no clue, I was learning as I went. But I think a big reason is he was thrown into the water to swim with the sharks immediately and he got it. He learned to swim with the sharks. He said we will have to wait and see if the Mysterios face off once more before the father retires. Do you want Rey and Dominic to go one more time? Hit the discussion button and let us know. A stalker threatens to kill WWE legend's wife. A stalker has released a chilling video threatening the wife of a WWE great. Police rushed in during the terrifying encounter, and today the horrifying clip spread like wildfire on social media. Matt Hardy's wife, Rabbi Hardy, got into a nasty confrontation with a stalker near their home in Cameron, North Carolina. Today, she posted the tense footage on Instagram showing the standoff right by the road. Rabbi is seen in a clash with a man in a truck, saying he hurled racist slurs at her and threatened to shoot her. Matt and Jeff Hardy, known as the Hardy Boys, are lined up for October 7 at the NXT vs. TNA Showdown to defend the TNA World Tag Team Championship against Dark State, the NXT Tag Team Champions. Insiders recently gave their opinion about the Hardy Boys returning to WWE. The company partnered with TNA earlier this year, leading to several exciting comebacks. On Sportskeeda Wrestling's The Russo Show, the former WWE writer shared his thoughts on the legendary tag team joining promotion again. If they have a new young team that reminds you of the Hardys, that would be great, you know what I mean. And then the Hardys could get into a program with them so this new young team could get a win. But bro, when I look at that roster and look at those teams, I don't even know who you put them with first. I mean, the New Day or Street Profits or Viking War Raiders. He said, it will be exciting to see if the Hardy Boys can pick up a win on next week's special episode of WWE NXT. A Hall of Famer signs new WWE contract after 15 years. Big news has just been revealed. A Hall of Famer has signed a new WWE contract after 15 years. This star had not signed such a deal with the company for a very long time. Hacksaw Jim Duggan stands tall as one of WWE's greatest of all time. He was praised for his never-say-die courage in the ring and his ability to capture hearts. His energy and passion in every match made him a fan favorite. A previous report hinted that Jim Duggan had signed with WWE after many years away. While he had made a few appearances, he was not tied to a full-time contract at that time. Now, in a chat with WrestleTalk's Connell Ramsey, Jim Duggan shared that he signed his first-ever Legends contract with WWE back in January, marking his return after 15 years. He also mentioned that owning his own name was a big reason behind this deal. I just recently in January resigned with WWE. I probably hadn't been with WWE for 15 years, but finally the reason is actually my name is mine. A lot of guys don't have their own names. Back in the WWF days, if Vince McMahon created names like Big Boss Man or Brutus, the Barber Beefcake, when you leave that territory you can't use that name. But me and Macho Man, we trademarked our names years ago. Recently, WWE has been bringing back legends and signing them to contracts. Under Triple H's leadership, more old-school stars have been seen in the crowd or even in action. Stars like Nikki Bella and Trish Stratus have even jumped back into the ring. Whether Jim Duggan laces up his boots one more time for a return remains up in the air. Triple H booking Roman Reigns and an OG Bloodline member for another betrayal storyline. The latest Raw saw Roman Reigns return with a roar. The Tribal Chief had been missing from WWE's weekly shows since he was destroyed at Clash in Paris by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Reigns defeated the Tribal Thief there, but after the bell, the heels ambushed him. On this week's Red Brand, the Usos scored a tornado tag team match win. At the end, Breaker and Reed stacked Jay and Jimmy on top of each other. Azilla climbed the ropes for his tsunami splash, but before the 37-year-old could leap, Roman Reigns attacked with a steel chair. He smashed the Vision pair, allowing the Usos to turn the tide and seize momentum. After the dust settled, OTC hugged Jay and fired up the Yeet Master. Big Jim stood watching on the side. In all this chaos, he avoided Jimmy, leaving fans scratching their heads. Now, it seems Triple H may be lining up Roman Reigns and an OG Bloodline member for another betrayal storyline. In a strange twist, Jimmy Uso could once again stab the former world champion in the back. He did it at Night of Champions 2023 with a superkick that cost Roman and Solo Sikoa a shot at the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. With Big Jim clearly frustrated at Jay and Reigns' moves, the booking could soon set him up to turn on the former undisputed WWE Universal Champion, maybe even at Crown Jewel Perth. For now, however, it's just speculation. Roman Reigns' return to weekly shows on Raw got fans in the arena buzzing, but insiders weren't as excited. On Sportskeeda Wrestling's Wrestle Binge Legion of Raw, insiders criticized Triple H's creative team's choices. They said Reigns' return got a big pop, but pairing him with the Vision killed the heat. The former WWE head writer called the whole booking ignorant and terrible. Bottom line, you bring him out for the pop and you completely kill all the heat, all the steam, whatever the heels had. We're gonna beat Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and the Usos will beat them, and now the heels have no heat at all. So what did you do, bro? You satisfied the pop for the marks and completely reset everything. Okay, now let's start again with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Let's go through 6 weeks of a tsunami just to get the heat back. The booking is so bad, ignorant, and awful. Insiders still said it will be interesting to see what Triple H's creative team cooks up for Roman Reigns in the coming weeks. Randy Orton betrays Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes reclaimed the undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam and since then has held off Drew McIntyre at WrestlePalooza. At the upcoming Premium Live event in Perth, the American Nightmare is now set to face World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship. Rumors are swirling that Randy Orton could betray his former protege Cody and join the Vision even at Crown Jewel. Though nothing is confirmed yet, here are 3 reasons why Orton might turn on the American Nightmare and side with the heel crew. Earlier this year, Randy Orton made it clear he was chasing his 15th World Championship. After losing to John Cena at Backlash for the undisputed WWE Championship, Orton entered the King of the Ring 2025 tournament but was stopped in the finals at Night of Champions by Cody Rhodes. The Viper is still in the hunt for World Championship gold, so he might pull off a heel turn at Crown Jewel Perth. In a surprising twist, Orton could betray the American Nightmare at the big show, join the Vision, and cost Rhodes his shot against Seth Rollins. If this plays out, it could spark a heated rivalry between the two veterans and possibly lead to an undisputed clash for the WWE Championship down the line. After SummerSlam, Drew McIntyre targeted Cody Rhodes on SmackDown, which dragged Randy Orton back into the fight, stepping up to challenge his former mentor's rival. Their battle ended on the September 12 episode of The Blue Brand, where Orton suffered a high-profile loss to the Scottish Warrior. Following that defeat, the Viper may need to rebuild his edge and re-establish himself as a true threat on the men's roster. The Vision is currently one of Stamford's top heel factions. By betraying Cody Rhodes and joining them, Orton would look even more intense and his dangerous aura would be amplified. Many fans believe Randy Orton fits better as a villain than a hero. His darker side makes him a more terrifying and gripping force on the roster. For years, he has thrived playing the bad guy and scored massive wins in that role. With his recent babyface run derailed after the SmackDown setback, Orton may have to lean back into his heel roots to shake up his character and story. One way to pull that off is by betraying Cody Rhodes and diving into the Vision at Crown Jewel.